Hello, YouTube. Good morning. Let's see here. What do we want to talk about? Well, let's do one that HDR said that I needed to do because he was telling me something and I kind of had to give him some better advice. Motorcycle storage. I know it's, still riding season, at least for most of us. But some of y'all are going to be, school starting back up for the little ones and whatnot. And, vacations are all used up and over with. We're almost into Labor Day. So it's winding down. And I know some folks are going to be putting their motorcycles away. So, with some tips and tricks, well, first off, let's discuss whether or not I believe you should cover your motorcycle. There are a lot of people out there who take it, they throw it in the garage or in the shed for the winter time. They got it all polished up and shined up for the next year. They'll put socks and stuff and all that over the mufflers, trying to keep critters from getting in there and whatnot. And they'll throw a cover over it. Okay? So then when they go the next year, they get their bike out and stuff. They don't... Ooh, almost got him. A lot of squirrels. Squirrel season will be here soon. But, you go out there and they uncover their bike at the next season and they're ready to go. They don't have to take and clean their bike up or anything like that and wipe the dust off of it. Okay. Doesn't really matter where you live at. When it gets to be winter time and weather gets to be cold, critters, all sorts of critters, it don't matter. They try to get in, and, it don't take much. Mice, they love wiring. That's a proven fact. They do. They love chewing wires. Mice, chipmunks, squirrels, yeah, they'll get in. They can. And what happens is when you have a cover on your bike, it's dark. Well, guess what them critters like? They like the dark. And they'll get down in your battery box. They'll make little nests. I have had that happen because I used to cover my bike. Not this one, my 03. I had it covered up in my shed. And I went out. Wasn't able to keep a battery tender on it because I didn't have power in the shed. So, I went out before the season was starting up and I pulled the battery out to bring it in and get it all charged up. And what happened? There was a whole bunch of little shells and stuff from different seeds down under the battery. And I got to look around. All kind of wires chewed up. Then, ended up having to take the bike and pull the fairing off and all kind of stuff because there was all kind of stuff they got in there and they just chewed on. They didn't chew it in half. They chewed on it enough to cause shorts. And why did they do that? Well, because they like that stuff. It's what they do. So, I don't cover my bike in the winter time. I will tell you what I do if storing my bike. And we're not going to talk about should you keep your gas tank full or not, because there's a huge debate and discrepancy upon that across the board. I will say that if you don't understand about whether you should or not, you need to go over to a YouTube channel called Baxter's Garage. It's Kevin Baxter. He's down in Georgia, and he is a very, very knowledgeable and very, very meticulous builder. And he does a lot with the M8s and twin cams, Harleys. But anyway, go check his video out. He's got a video on fuel and all that stuff, and gets really scientific and in-depth with it. Now, what do I do when I store my bike? Well, most of the time I ride late through the season, so it's kind of like, if I remember to fill the bike up with gas before I get home from my last ride, then I will, and I'll leave it sit. Wintertime, do not go out in the garage and start your bike up and leave it run for 5 or 10 minutes. Don't do that. That's not a proper operating cycle of the engine. All you're going to do is cause more harm than good. And over time, if you do that, it's really going to take effect and take a toll on your engine. So I do not recommend doing that. Just plug it in, keep it on the battery tender, and the other thing I do is I park it under lights that I leave on. Now, is that a little more on the electric bill? Yeah, I've got 2 LED lights in the garage. They're just LED hanging lights. Bought them at Menards, and they're hanging from the rafters. I park the bike underneath there, and I leave at least one of those lights on. Why? So it's not dark, of course, but go one step further, and I do this year round. Open, if you have a bagger. Not everybody has a bagger. We'll get to the non-bagger guys here in a minute. I open my saddlebags, and I leave my saddlebags open. When I get home and I park the bike, I open the saddlebags up, I open the tour pack up. That's not saying that I have a critter problem at my house, because I don't. That's just saying, I live in the country, and it's just a preventative measure that I take, just in case. So it lets light and everything get in there, and it's just a habit that I've gotten into doing. I leave that stuff open, and it lets light shine on it, so it'll keep them things away. And in the wintertime, I go one step further. I'll pull my seat off, because if you pull your seat off, they don't have that dark path to get down into, so they don't have somewhere to go and hide, because, like I said, especially if you live in areas like what I live in. I live out in the woods, so it's going to happen. There's cows and all kind of other stuff out there, and you'll get ground moles and mice and squirrels, chipmunks, all kind of stuff. There's just, we can name them all day long. But if you let the light shine and you keep your bike out of the dark, you're at less risk. Since I've been doing that, I haven't had anything chew on my wires or chew on my bike, and I haven't found any little seeds or nests or anything like that. Even birds will take and, they'll get in there and they'll try to build a nest, so it's up to you what you want to do and what your practices are. I'm just trying to help y'all out and give you some information and some tips on mine. And then another thing is, covers can hold moisture, so if covers, because it's going to sit there unless you got a climate controlled garage, which I don't. My garage don't have any heat, so they're going to sit there. The bikes are going to do what we call sweat, which is condensation. They're going to build up condensation, and then you put that cover over it, and it just creates more, and you have potential for rust. So it's up to you. Whatever you want to do, it's your bike, it's your choice. I just try to help you out and give you some tips and some pointers of some things that I've done that I found work pretty well for me. But at the same time, remember, my bike ain't in the garage that long. Some people store them for 6, 7 months. Some people don't have a choice in the matter. I get that. You got too much snow. My motto is, as long as there's not ice on the road, I can get the bike on my driveway. I'll ride it. Even if it's just a ride to work, I'll ride it. I do love riding. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Ride fast, live slow, and we'll see you on the next one.